Hi there. My name is Corinne Goodwin, and I'm Executive Director and founder of Eastern Pennsylvania Trans Equity Project. And today we're going to talk about how to change your name in the state of Pennsylvania. This section is going to focus on completing your court documents, and it is part 3 of a 6-part series on how to complete legal name changes here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Today's agenda includes understanding the fingerprinting process, how to complete your court documents that will then be submitted to your court, and then the submission process itself. As a disclaimer, we want to make sure that you are aware that this is not intended to be specific legal advice for you. If you have a question that's specific to you, you can always complete a mentoring form for us, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. You could also send us an email. But keep in mind that we are not providing you with legal guidance. And in some cases, we may refer you to an attorney for questions that we do not feel comfortable or competent handling. Also, this is the process that is specific to the state of Pennsylvania. If you live in a different state like Vermont or New Hampshire, Massachusetts, or Maine, you will need to make sure that you are seeking out resources for your state on how to complete a legal name change there. So let's get started and talk about fingerprinting. State law requires that anybody who's getting a legal name change complete a criminal background check, and that means that you're going to need to get fingerprinted. Most counties require manual fingerprinting, where you're going to go to a police station, get inked up, and then have your fingerprints taken on this card here. It's called Form FD 258. We recommend that you call ahead to your police station to verify if they have somebody on hand who can do the fingerprinting when you are available. They can also give you a price for the cost. Most police stations will only take cash or a money order made out for the exact amount for this service. In some cases, they may take a credit card. So you're going to pick up this form either at your county courthouse, at the office of the prothonotary, or at the law library, or many police stations, including the state police, have this form on hand. In all cases, you want to make sure that this section that we have outlined in red here is completely filled out. This is what tells the state police in Harrisburg where to send the results for the name change criminal background check. Different counties do have different processes. So in most counties, you will use the state police barracks for your fingerprinting. But other counties may require that you use the sheriff's office located at the county courthouse or the police department in the township where you reside. In all cases, what we recommend that you do before submitting this, along with the rest of your paperwork, including your petition, is make a photocopy of this for your records, just in case something happens and it gets lost in the mail. That way you have proof that you tried to get it done. Now let's talk about the rest of the court documentation. Typically, a court documentation packet is going to include about 20 pages. And these documents are available in many cases at your county courthouse, either through the county law library or the prothonotary's office in person, or the county's website. Please keep in mind that the personnel at the courthouse are not allowed to help you fill out this paperwork. They will simply give you the packet and then send you on your way. Also, the packets that are available in most courthouses do not include the motion to waive publication. On the other hand, the packets that are available through the Eastern Pennsylvania Trans Equity Project do. All of our packets include step-by-step instructions on how to complete your legal name change, all of the forms that are required by the county, the motion to waive publication, and if you have access to a PDF form filler program similar to Adobe, you may be able to fill out these forms by typing in the information before you even print it out. Otherwise, you will have to fill them out by hand. So take a moment to scan this QR code, bookmark our website so that you can download these forms later. And as a reminder, you will need to print out typically 3 complete sets of these forms, 2 of which are going to go to the county courthouse, and 1 of which you will retain for your records. So make sure you have plenty of paper and lots of ink. Okay, so the first document that you're going to fill out for most counties is a cover sheet, and it looks like this for most counties. This form is what the county prothonotary's office uses to track and file your documents. And you're not going to have to fill out all of the information that you see here. In fact, you really only need to fill out 5 segments on this form. So let's just take a quick look at those. The first one that you're going to fill out is at the very top left here, and that is the county that you reside in. So for example, I live in Lehigh County, and I filed my paperwork in Lehigh County Court. I would have filled out Lehigh County in this section. The next place that you're going to complete is right here where you're going to check the box that says petition, because that's what you're filing with the court. You're then going to fill out the section that says plaintiff name. You are the plaintiff, and the name you're going to fill in is your current legal name, just like it appears on your state ID or birth certificate. Then you're going to check the box here next to this red writing, and this says that you are going to be representing yourself in court as opposed to having an attorney represent you. And then finally, at the bottom of the form, you're going to check the box that says other and type in the words or write in the words name change. Some counties may use a slightly different form, but again, you probably only have to fill out these minimal pieces on that form. The next document that's going to be in your packet that you get from the TransEquity Project is the petition. This is the form where you are formally asking the court to help you complete your legal name change, where you're saying, I want to change my name from X to Y. And it has a few things on it. The first thing is that you are asking the court to change your name. Second, you're going to be putting in the reason why you are seeking a name change. Third, you're going to put in your current address or residence, and then the addresses of all the residences that you have had over the last 5 years, whether those are in-state or out-state. You'll then sign it, and it'll get submitted along with the rest of your documents, along with the set of fingerprints that we just talked about. Let's backtrack and talk about the reason for name change. Typically, our advice is that you will fill in this section something along the lines of, I am a transgender person. I use the name Corinne Goodwin on a day-to-day basis. This is how I am known to my friends and family and coworkers. A change of name will allow me to update all of my legal identification to reflect this chosen name. So again, it'll say something like, I am a transgender individual. I use the name Corinne Goodwin or whatever your name is. And this is how I'm generally known in the community by my family and my friends and coworkers. And a change of name will allow me to update all of my legal identification. So let's take a closer look at how to fill it out. Remember, always type it in if you can. If you have to print it in or fill it in by hand, print neatly. The last thing you want to have happen is that your name change is spelled incorrectly because somebody couldn't read your handwriting. Something to keep in mind is that in almost all cases where this asks for a name, you're going to use your current legal name. First, middle, last, again, as it appears on your legal ID or your birth certificate. The only place you're going to put your chosen name is where it says change name to or something like that. And then, of course, you're going to sign the bottom of the form where it says petitioner with your current legal name as well. So, for example, up at the top where it says petitioner name, you're going to put in your current legal name. Where it says in regarding the petition of, you're going to put in your current legal name. Where it says change name from, you're going to put in your current legal name. The only place you're going to put your chosen name is where it says change name to. Then we have that outlined in blue on this particular example. When you submit this form along with the rest of your court documents, you will pay a fee, typically in the range of $100 to $150, maybe a little bit more depending on the county. The next form that's going to be in your packet might be a verification form. This isn't required by all counties, but some counties do require this form. And basically what it says is that you are swearing to or attesting to the fact that everything that you wrote on the petition is in fact true, and that you understand that if you lied on that form, you could be subject to perjury penalties. So this is very straightforward. All it says is that you have told the truth. And just like on the prior form, you're going to fill in your current legal name, where it says petitioner, and then where it says I blank verify that my statements were true. You're going to put in your current legal name, and then you're going to sign it with your current legal name and date that form. Another form that you may have in your packet that you download from us is a certificate of compliance. Again, this isn't required by all counties, but it is in some, and it is primarily used in the cases where it's a name change of a minor. And basically what it says is that you agree that if you become aware of any confidential information, for example, somebody's current legal name or a social security number, that you agree to keep that information confidential. Again, just like all the other forms, you're going to submit it and fill it out using your current legal name. So where it says submitted by, you'll put in your current legal name, and then you're going to sign it with your current legal name. The next document that'll be in your packet is the court order. This is the ultimate endgame. This is the document that the judge will sign when they affirm your name under law. We provide this as a convenience to the judge so that they can sign it right there in front of you, and that'll help expedite the process of getting your paperwork completed after the name change hearing. Again, you're going to fill it out at the top here where it says petitioner with your current legal name, and then where it says in regarding to the matter of the petition of, you're going to put in your current legal name. The only place you're going to put in your chosen name is where it says change of name to. Leave everything else blank. That is for the judge to fill out. There is a separate note here that we do want to make sure that you're aware of. And that is that if you were born out of state, so you do not have a Pennsylvania birth certificate, but maybe you were born in the state of Georgia, for example. Other states sometimes require that the court order also have language in it that says that for the matter of changing a birth certificate, that the gender marker is also changed to either male or female. If that's the case and you were born in another state, you will want to request to the judge that they add that language. If you were born in another state and you are one of our mentoring clients, we can provide you with an order that has that language reflected in it. But typically in Pennsylvania, for somebody who is born in Pennsylvania, gender markers are handled only after the court process. The next document in your packet is the notice of publication. So as we discussed previously, anybody getting a legal name change in the state of Pennsylvania is required by law to publish their intention to change their name in their newspapers. However, you can ask for a waiver, but if you are unsuccessful to get the waiver or you choose not to ask for a waiver, you will also be providing the court this document that you will fill out your current legal name in two places and your chosen name in another. They will then provide this document back to you so that you are able to provide it to the publications so that they can complete it. Essentially, this is the verbiage that will go in that ad. Okay? Next is the motion to waive publication. And this is something that we recommend for everybody. And we're going to go over this in more detail in our next segment. However, we recommend that you complete this form. This will actually account for the bulk of the name change packet, as it includes a research paper that speaks about the issues of violence against transgender people. This is where you're going to be requesting that the court waive publication on the grounds of you having a genuine concern for your personal safety if your name change is published in the paper. Keep in mind that judges do have a great deal of discretion in this matter. But if they grant the waiver, the side benefit is that your record for the court is also sealed. And that means that nobody except for a judge can release this court document. All right. Again, just like other documents, you're going to fill out the top here with your current legal name, as that is your name right now. All right. And then remember, as a side benefit, beyond not having to publish for personal safety reasons, you'll also save a little bit of money. Okay, just like we did with the name change petition, we are providing an order as a convenience to the judge that they can sign right then and there in your hearing for the waiver. And just like all of our other documents, you're going to fill it out at the top with your current legal name. That's where it goes for petitioner. All right. After the name change waiver is granted, you're going to want to make sure that you get a copy of this order and keep a copy for your own personal records. All right, now that we've filled out all that paperwork, the next thing you have to do is submit it to the court. What you want to do before you go to the courthouse to submit is give the Office of the Prothonotary a call or look on their website. You're going to verify the amount of money that you're going to have to pay them for the filing fee. Most Prothonotary's office will only accept either cash, a money order made out for the exact amount of the filing fee, or a credit card. They will not accept a personal check. We also recommend that you file your paperwork in person versus electronically. The reason for that is if you made an error in the paperwork, they can point it out to you right away and you can make that change in person on the spot. If you file electronically, they will have to mail you a letter back saying that you made an error, and that wastes time. When you go to the courthouse to file your paperwork, you're going to want to bring your legal ID, like your driver's license, and some counties want a copy of your birth certificate. So again, that will be in the instruction packet that you get for us. But you do want to give them a call ahead of time to ask for the exact amount for filing the petition for name change and the motion to waive publication. When you go to the Prothonotary's office, you're going to need to bring 2 to 3 completed sets of the court documents with you. Remember, when we talked about printing them out, we talked about printing out 3 sets, 2 for the Prothonotary and then 1 specifically for you. You're going to go to the Prothonotary's office. Remember, in some counties, it may be called the clerk of court's office. You're going to file the paperwork. They will verify that it's been filled out properly. And then you're going to ask them when you will be informed about your court dates. In some cases, they may send you up to what's called motions court that day to be scheduled for a hearing. All right? Make sure that all of your documents are completed in full before you submit, because again, they're not going to help you do that while they're there. After you submit and you pay your filing fee, you're going to get assigned a hearing date. It's possible that it may be assigned to you that day, but it's more than likely that they're going to mail you what's called a scheduling order telling you what day your hearing is and what courtroom it is at. Then, if you are required to publish in the newspaper or you didn't apply for that waiver, you will publish your intention to change your name in the newspapers, and then you will also complete those financial checks or judgment searches. Remember that publication must be done at least 30 days prior to your final hearing. So you can place that ad as early as you wish. In summary, the name change packets are available at some county courthouses, but they're also available for download off of the Eastern PA TransEquity Project website. When you fill out the forms, fill them out carefully, either print or type neatly. And then you're going to be using your current legal name in most places where it asks for a name. And then remember that you're going to be submitting your documents at the Prothonotari's office, and you should call them ahead of time to make sure that you have the right amount of money available to pay the filing fee. All right. Our next section of our video series is going to be all about publication and the waiver of publication, as well as the judgment search. And we hope to see you then. Thank you so much.